Today we are at the historic 519 Community Center at the Church in Walton neighborhood. There is an open meeting inside with the executive of Pride Toronto to discuss the recent venue change of Blockorama. Blockorama is a space that has been created by and for queer and trans individuals of African descent, their friends and their allies. Unfortunately, Blocker in the past 4 years has been moved 3 times. Beyond the recent relocation, some members of African, Black and Caribbean communities feel that historical issues need to be addressed before we move forward. Today, we will be speaking about the forced displacement of Blockorama without the community's consent. After all, Pride is about the community. Or have we forgotten about that? Let's go inside and see what others have to say. Right now, we're going upstairs at the 519 Community Center to see the meeting.
I'm one of the original Blackness Yes Committee members from '99. Yes, I know. Yeah. You know, it's like the circle. It's continuing again. We're having to say the same things again. We're having to explain again. We're having to let them know that there is a community that exists again. Pride thinks that they can create an event and we should just be able to come to it and not ask for anything specific.
Blocko was a space of innovation, a space of vibrancy and energy so booty-shaking and sweat-inducing was often billed as the best party at Pride. The programming of real food.
In essence, the party continued. There was a lot of serious issues around safety that came up, whereby we had a couple of people who fainted, we had one woman who was pregnant and fainted or had a seizure. We had problems getting EMS folks in. So that was 2007. Well, after that fiasco, we said we're not going back to the parking lot of the beer store.
And we were very clear with our concerns to Mary at Pride.
Today,
So happy that the community's come out. The letters and the words that people have shared have been so from the heart and so meaningful.
what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Blockorama 2010.
This is a stage that was placed at George Hislop, and because there's an infrastructure already in Alexander Parkett, and there's things that you can draw on, we were planning on making the stage much larger for this year in Alexander Parkett, and we thought that this might be something that everyone would be happy with.
Why these questions weren't asked and why we are at this point is not, I'm not sure that there's really any value in getting into a he said, she said, and pointing fingers at that. The reason why we're here is to resolve it. And having looked at the list of what it is that you want, I don't think there's anything that's not doable.
I mentioned too that while the programming budget is $5,000, there is also about $20,000 that we have to put towards getting the space. I just want
Of course,
to
that's the first time we even know about the budget.
well, I mean, I think I touched on a little bit of this at one of our meetings, and I mean, you know, if that's something that we want to talk about more, that's fine.
It's not going to be possible for us to give you a definite answer tonight, right here, that yes, we can do X, Y, or Z. Okay.
What are some of your thoughts, Nandi, on the current community?
Right now, I feel disgusted that we're not getting real answers. I think it's time we have a permanent space for just Black people.
My name is Zoe Schrader, and I'm a community member. The movement of Blocko continually over the years is an offensive and a repugnant act.
We live as a community with a commitment about a location.
We're being asked to act respectfully in the face of disrespect. These moves impact the numbers of the community and the types of the community that come to the space.
As Black folks, as queer folks, as folks who have been marginalized, we're often asked to wait. I think you need to appreciate that this room isn't just filled because there is a group of angry and concerned Black folks and allies about a dance space.
Let's go back to Wellesley. That is the spot that continues to create this, that continues to create a queerness that is about 2010, that Pride loves to
tout as, look at who we are global, we are diverse. Well, then respect your global diversity.
After the mounting pressure, the Pride Executive Committee has now decided to take a 15-minute break to discuss the possible options that were raised earlier.
So, as we can see it, the options are, and I don't think you're all going to like these options, George Hislop with very minimal infrastructure. So, minimal staging, minimal sound, that kind of thing.
Are these the only options on the table, or is it conceivable that you could come up with something else?
And here we are, Friday afternoon, a few days after the Pride open meeting. The Pride Executive Committee, as promised, just got back to us with the following offers. 1. Blockorama gets to keep the old space, George Hislop Park, for the Sunday, for 2 years. The second offer was that Blockorama could keep the park for the Saturday as well, unfortunately with no budget. The third offer was that the budget would be exactly the same, that is $5,000. And the fourth promise was that the committee organizing Blockorama would be a part of the deliberations of the Pride Committee. And now let's hear what others think of this, from community members to members of the Blackness Yes Committee. What are some of your thoughts with the resolutions the Pride Executive Committee proposed last night?
I haven't seen a resolution. It was a little surprising to me that they were really clear and unapologetic about the fact that other communities or whoever else they had contracts with were much more important.
Well, I think it was interesting that they came back with that type of proposal. I felt the letter was full of innuendos and veiled accusations.
What would you have liked the Party Committee to suggest this year's Blockorama?
Everything in their power to give Blockorama what they were asking for otherwise. Which doesn't mean a day of programming they're supposed to do for free, but means giving them the Sunday with all of the things they asked for.
Pride needs to step up and realize that Blocko, Dyke March, trans bodies, bodies with disabilities, persons with disabilities, youth bodies, that we are what Pride is.
Aiden, where do you think Blockorama, the Blackness Yes Committee, should go from here?
Moving forward, I think that the underlying issue is Pride's general racism and disrespect, and those things haven't gone away.
Blackness Yes Committee, we're still trying to weigh our options and before we make a decision with Pride.
When Pride kicked Blocko out the first time out of Wellesley, they got funding from TD, and then TD put a stage in there, and they played nothing but soca, dancehall, house, R&B, everything that Blocko was doing when they were there. There was no sense that Pride at that point could be like, let's partner with Blocko, because Blocko's been doing this, because they are a significant part of our community. And it's from that moment this racism began, and it is continuing. It is bullshit.
As you can see, members of the community are torn up, from narratives of displacement, to narratives of disrespect, to narratives of just not being included. So what happens now? Does Blockorama accept the proposals of the Pride Executive Committee, or does Blockorama not accept and do something different? I guess only time will tell. In solidarity, this is Lali Mohammed from Deviant Productions.